What up, doe? What up, doe? It's me running solo. So I gotta get used to doing everything. I'm used to being behind the scenes, sending stuff off, tuning up the audio, and I gotta do it all by myself. Welcome to the IOW Sports Network, IOW Sports Show. It is me, Detroit Mel. We missing Wild Card Mar and Nick Shine. I don't know where they at. I think Nick is getting his butthole bleach and no telling what Lamar's doing. But anyway, if you have not subscribe to our channel. You can go over to IOW Network, IOW Sports Network, and hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, hit that little bell, ding. Make sure you get all the things that we are putting out there over the airs. We have Nick's Proud Jets sports show. We have this show that you listen to, I Often Wonder, also. And we also have Moneyline with Nick Shine. You can also go over to our Facebook page, IOW Network, and you can subscribe to that. We are looking for your takes. If you got a funny take, if you are networking with something, selling something, producing something, let us know. Put it all in there. Also, if you have any kind of podcast idea, sports podcast idea, let us know. We're trying to build our network. We're looking for NASCAR, soccer, all that stuff. So just hit us up on ILW Network. And what am I forgetting? Oh, and I also forgot to put the banner up. See, I'm used to Lamar doing all this. Also, we have our Cash App that you'll see scrolling down here in a minute. If you like, we have these lovely hats right here, exclusive hats that you can get. Just drop $30 in the Cash App and leave your address, and we will send you one of those hats. As you see, one of our subscribers, Matt, he has one, and me, Lamar, these are exclusive. And I think that's all of the preliminaries out of the way. If I forgot something, I'm sure Lamar will remind me. Let's get on with the show. So we got a lot of stuff here to talk about today. I know that we're gonna start off with the easy stuff. We're gonna do a little hockey first. Oh, before we get into hockey, got gnats all up in here. Tragic thing happened today. I think it was Jeff Gladney passed away in a car accident today. He was a former first round pick for the Miami Vikings. And after the Vikings released him, I believe the Cardinals picked him up. So he passed away with in a car accident. So our thoughts and prayer goes out to his family and friends. Bad thing happened. And what up, though, Matt? We hate to see things like that happen. We just got over Dwayne Haskins getting hit by a car. Now you have Jeff Gladney getting in a car accident. So I thought some prayers. Yes, it is tragic. I thought some prayer goes out to his family and friends and everything. So I want to get that out the way so that way we can go into the show. I didn't want to end it on a sad note. Didn't want to start on a sad note. I didn't know where to put it in the middle, so we just gonna start off with that. I sometimes you hate to hear things about that. I think he was 25, young guy, man. Had a whole life ahead of him. But anyway, since we on the NFL thing, Aaron Donald. Let's talk about Aaron Donald. So I was reading that he said he may retire if he can't get a deal done. Yeah, 25. Thanks, Matt. He said he might retire if he can't get a deal done. I like this, and I'm gonna tell you why. I was looking at some of the things Aaron Donald was saying, and some of the things that I've been trying to tell young people all the time about sports. Aaron Donald said he'll play his whole thing was to play 8 years and retire anyway. So he won a Super Bowl or not, he was gonna retire. This is things I've been trying to teach young people all the time. Man, football is a brutal sport. Brutal sport. Your knees, your joints, all of that takes a hit. And you playing 13 years of taking that, of taking that punishment. I always bring up Earl Campbell. Man could barely walk. So if you can get in, make your money, and then get out, this should be your investment. Get your money, get out, and retire while you still have the use of your limbs. Get in, get your money, get out right. while your body's still intact. I agree with that, Matt. I totally agree with that. And so if he retires, hey, good for him, man. I'm not that big of a fan where I want to see someone else get hurt. You know, now it's not that the Rams is my team. I like the Rams, but they're not my team. But even if I was a diehard Rams fan, I think that the player should come above all that. So I like the fact that he said, hey, we can't get a deal done, retire. I'm with that. I don't have no issue with that. I don't have no problems with that. I think that's smart. I like the fact, that he's thinking that way. I wish all players would think that way, man. I understand the rush, the rush of competition, the rush of want to play, especially if you retired at a young age and you want to play. Man, coach, do something else. Don't put your body out there. Don't put your body out there, man, and get hurt. It's not worth it. You're 45 years old and you can't walk. You're 45 years old and all you wake up to aches and pain. That's still young. Maybe old to some of you 25-year-olds, but it's still young, man. So I don't see a problem with that. If they get the deal done, fine. But stick around too long and cripple. Yeah, I agree. They stick around too long and they get crippled. I agree with that, Matt. That's why I have a problem with this, man. Now, on the other side, because Aaron Donald mentioned this is a business. For a business side, if you're the Rams, what do? I wouldn't give him a long-term deal, 2-3 years. Give him some decent money because he still can play. But hearing him say he's gonna retire in 8 years, he near that 8-year mark. I'm not exactly sure how long he played, but I think he near that 8-year mark. So you give him 2 or 3 years, that's 11 years right there. Hey, you're right, and I agree with that. If you want to hang in his cleats, you can't fault him. That's right, Matt. If I'm the Rams, I give him a short-term deal, give him some decent money for 2 reasons. He played his heart out for y'all. He helped give y'all a Super Bowl. You give him some decent money. You don't give him enough money where it handicaps you as a team, but you give him enough money to keep him happy. Couple years, and then next year you look to sign, a young defensive end that he can teach and mentor as he goes out. That's the smart thing to do if you're the Rams. You keep him happy. You put somebody over there that he can mentor, and he just give a farewell tour next year or 2 down the line, goes out, retires jersey, bam, everybody happy. That's what I think you should do with Aaron Donald. Don't cut him. Give him some money. Make him happy. Give him where both of y'all can be comfortable. Give enough money where you're not handicapping yourself money-wise as an organization. And, you give enough money where he can be happy to play a couple years. And he's gone. He did what he had to do. Y'all got a Super Bowl. Then the next thing, what do you do once he's gone? How do you replace Aaron Donald? Who can you replace Aaron Donald with? Do you, as the Rams, because you got to look at the other side of this thing too, Matthew Stafford only got so many years. So how long y'all going to be up as a team? So if you get rid of Aaron Donald, your defense is not looking as great. So then how can you win without that defense? So you got a lot of things you need to fix, Los Angeles. I think that if it's me, I'm looking for a replacement now. I'm gonna get a vet in there. Someone to kind of fill that's gonna fill that hole until we to next year's draft. What up, Nick? Get a vet in there that's gonna fill that hole to next year's draft, and then you get a nice rookie in there that he can mentor. We're probably gonna need some first round picks to replace Donald. Yeah, I agree. But shoot, where they gonna get them from? They keep giving them away. They keep giving their first round picks away. That's the only thing. Only other problem the Rams have, they don't have any first round picks. They keep giving them away. I think we got one this year and one next year from them. So, I appreciate it. but they keep giving away their first round picks anyway. So I don't know what they're gonna do far as an organization. But if it was me, I would be trying to get a vet in there now, and then next year look for a nice rookie. But anyway, that's my NFL spiel. We probably come back to it, but we gotta talk about these NBA playoffs, man. Game 7, man, that was a great game. Controversial call in it, but it was a great game. I mean, the series was great. Matt, you said Heat in 7. Don't think that happened. I said Celtics in 6, so I was wrong too. So I can't have room to talk. But the series itself was a great series. I think it was very entertaining. My problem with the game I saw, let's start with the Celtics first. The first 3 quarters, they was on the Heat, man. I mean, the Heat was fighting, but they had the lead majority of that game. And it went for Jimmy Butler and a little bit of Bam, they would have really got blown out. I mean, Jimmy Butler kept, scoring, kept him in there. Kyle Lowry was like absent. He looked horrible. I know he was hurt, but my thing is, you out there playing, hurt is not an excuse. That's just me. I mean, Jimmy Butler was hurt and he was killing it. 47 points in game 6. I think he scored 35, I'm not mistaken, in game 7. He was cooking, man. Jimmy was cooking. The Celtics, and that's why I'm gonna see a problem with the Warriors series. The Celtics lets off the gas in a series, man. They be pouring it on, they let off the gas, and teams come back. If they do that with the Warriors, man, they might get swept. I mean, they play great defense. Don't get me wrong. The Celtics play great defense. If Tatum has a great game, and the supporting and Brown has a great game, they good. That's their engine. Tatum and Brown is their engine. Without them, the rest of them is hit and miss. You might get Marcus Smart in there, get a couple of scores. Al Horford plays pretty good defense, but sometimes he's off with the scoring. It's all about Tatum and Brown. Now, Tatum sometimes have up and down games. I think where the Warriors has the advantage is that if you notice throughout the series that the Warriors played, when Steph and Clay had bad games, Wiggins stepped in, Looney steps in, all their supporting cast steps in, to kind of balance it off. And then later on throughout the game, you'll see Clay or Steph heating up. So I think that's going to be the difference maker. But this game 7, man, I just think that it was the Heat was just out of gas, man. And I think if it did go to overtime, they wouldn't have made it. The Heat, like they was just out of gas, man. Tyler Hero played, but he was not much of a factor. But I think he had a groin injury, so he wasn't much of a factor. I know everybody want to talk about Max Strus stepping out of bounds. Did he or did not step out of bounds? I'm on this thing right here. I looked at it, and this one of the things that was hard to tell. It looked like his foot was elevated a little bit over the line. So technically, if it's elevated, not touching the line, you're not out of bounds. I know with the NFL, if it's not, and you're not 100% sure, you go with the benefit of the doubt, which means they the call stands, whatever it is. So in this case, they would have had the 3-pointer. Because to me, it was not definitive to see whether or not he stepped out of bounds. Because to me, like his foot was elevated a little bit. I couldn't tell from my angle. Now, I don't have the angles like they have, but from my angle, I don't think he stepped out of bounds. Now, Bird stepped out of bounds. I just want to bring that back up. Bird stepped out of bounds. Fuck Larry Bird. Just want to say that. But anyway, he stepped, I couldn't tell if he stepped out of bounds. But why wait 3 minutes or whatever time it was and take the points off the board? I think that's right there. I don't agree with. After 3 minutes, it should be like in football. Once you hike the ball, that's it. Say once you make the shot and you run a series, that should be it. You should be able to go back and take the points off the board. I didn't like that at all. And I know the other thing people talked about was the Jimmy Butler shot at the end with 16 seconds on the clock. I don't have a problem with that one either, man. Jimmy hit a lot of big shots. Don't nobody say nothing when Jimmy hitting the shots. When he making them shots, like shot he made, I think it was in Game 6 from the corner. Nobody had a problem with that. That was a 3-pointer. He comes down and he missed this shot, and everybody said he shouldn't have took the shot. He should have drove to the hole. I mean, he the type of player, he wants to win. He didn't want to go for the tie or take a chance and whether or not they didn't foul him or not. He don't get the 3-point play. He want to go for the win. I have a problem with that. He's the leader of the team. And as the leader goes, so shall the team go. And y'all bag him up. Where's the box out? Nobody's talking about that. Where's the box out to get the offensive board? Where are they at for that? So my thing is like, you can't just get on Jimmy about the shot. He's the star of the team. He's the leader of the team. You live and die by that leadership. So I don't have a problem with that. If he the leader, he decided to take a shot, bam, they miss, they lose. It's just that simple, man. I don't think we should be getting on Jimmy, because if Jimmy wasn't, without Jimmy, y'all wouldn't be there. Without Jimmy, you know what I'm saying, you wouldn't be in a Game 7, Game 6. You wouldn't have been there without Jimmy. So I think Jimmy carried y'all on his back to get there, because a lot of y'all didn't show up or showed up sporadically. So Jimmy taking that shot, it shouldn't be no issue to me. I don't have a problem with it. I think that Jimmy Butler, I think he made a decision. He stuck with it, and I always say, I'm with anybody who stand 10 toes down. You make a decision, you stand on it. I'm with you. I flow with that. I'm good with that. So I don't have a problem with him taking that shot. All these people and these analysts talking about he should have drove to the hole. I don't understand why he took that shot. He's only 20-some% from the free throw. He's horrible. I mean, from the 3-point line, he's horrible in 3-pointers. Boom, boom, boom. But at the same time, you talking about all these shots he's making, y'all praising him for it. Oh, he's big shot Jimmy buckets. All this and that. He missed a shot. Now y'all on him. Man, y'all can miss me with that. I'm with you, Jimmy. He ain't, what I'm saying? He's not on my team as far as the team I root for. But I'm with you on this, man. I don't have a problem with that. Now you look at the matchup since the Celtics won, the Celtics and the Warriors, like I alluded to earlier. I don't think it's going to be as easy as everybody predicting the Warriors going to run away with it. Now, the problems that I see that I pointed out earlier is that if the Celtics let off the gas against the Warriors, they have the potential to be swept. You can't let off the gas. You have to, once you have the Warriors down, you got to keep your foot on their neck and keep it going until the clock hit 00. That's plain and simple. If they play the defense like they played against Brooklyn, against Milwaukee, and in the Heat series, I think the Celtics got an opportunity to win this series. I know I hate to say it because I hate Boston, but I think they have an opportunity to win a series. Now, do I think they're gonna win a series? No, I think the Warriors will win. I think the Warriors, if you match them up player to player, head to head, I think the Warrior has a better bench than the Celtics does. I think they match up well against I think the Celtics match up well against the Warriors, but I think all in all, the Warriors bench, Dubs and 5. All right, Matt. I don't know. I want to say that. For some reason, I want to say fuck Boston. Right on time, Matt. Right on time. Matt, I'm with you on that, but I don't know. For some reason, I want to say 6. I think that because I'm gonna get on now. Let's talk about Boston since you brought that about the series. Here's the thing why I say 6. Now on the Warriors side, they have a lot of turnovers. And I think that when Boston is cooking and the Warriors had those same turnovers they had, with Memphis, with Dallas, with Denver, I think Boston's a good enough team to take advantage of those turnovers. They good from the 3-point line. So they Steph losing the ball out of bounds. Losing the ball or throwing them in air passes, and they play the passing lanes pretty well. Boston does, and kick it out to the open man for a three. You hit a couple on threes back to back. You up 6 or 9 points, just like that. So that's one of the things that I think that is gonna mess Golden State up in the series. They need to clean up the turnovers. Got to clean up the turnovers. Steph needs to work on his lately he's been up and down, turn it on in the fourth quarter. You can't do that. I don't think they can do that against Boston. I don't think with the Mavs, you can do that at the Mavs. You can do that with Memphis, especially when they lost Ja. You really do it with Memphis. You can do that with Denver, but I don't think you can do that with Boston. So I think Golden State needs to be clicking on all cylinders the whole time and clean up those turnovers. If they can stay pretty much relatively, clean playing without those turnovers, then I don't see Boston beating them. Wiggins play like he's been playing, Looney play like he's been playing. Draymond being the heart and soul of that team. If Clay and Steph stay hot throughout the series, Boston in trouble. Boston is in trouble. I don't see Boston beating them. Like I said, the only thing I can see Boston having a chance if they don't clean up those turnovers. But I think it's gonna be a better series than everybody predict. I heard somebody say sweep. I don't see sweep unless Boston allow the Warriors to stay in the game when they have them up, when they have them down. I don't see sweep. I can go with Matt said 5, but I'm more leaning towards 6. I wouldn't be surprised by 5, but I'm leaning more towards 6. I think the Boston can steal 2 games, and that's it. But yeah, I think I'm rolling with the Dubs. Now, having said that, what does this mean? I know I brought this up before, but the Warriors win 4. This will be their 4th championship. Relative with that same nucleus, Clay, Steph, and Draymond. Now they got some young hogs with them now too. That's up and coming. I think this is a dynasty, man. And I know when Nick said that it's not like the dynasty, like the Bulls dynasty and stuff like that. But I think you got to look at it from the standpoint of the era that we in. We're in a whole different era. We're not in the 90s. When the Bulls was hot. It's a whole different game. I think the competition more spread out than it was back then. Back when Mike was playing, you had a lot of sorry teams. Now they would have some good teams too, but you had a lot of sorry teams. I think now the East and the West are pretty evenly matched. You got what? Philly in the East. You got Boston. You got Miami. What am I forgetting? Boston, Miami, Philly. Cleveland up and coming. They not. I don't think they championship caliber, but I think they a few pieces away from, contending. I'm forgetting. Oh, you got Brooklyn. Yeah, they ain't shambles now because you don't know what they don't know what they're gonna do with Kyrie and all that stuff. But I think Brooklyn gonna be all right. They're gonna get a lot of their players back that didn't play last year, so Brooklyn still look tough. So you got at least 4 or 5. Oh, you got Milwaukee. Milwaukee a few pieces. They just need one more player. I think they get one more player, like a Bradley Beal or somebody like that. I think Milwaukee will be tough because Giannis is cooking. So all they need is a consistent score. That's all they need, a consistent score. They get a consistent score. They can run these. It's between them and it's hard to bet. To me, it's hard for me to bet against Brooklyn. I mean, Brooklyn got a lot of people over there, man. And like I said, some of the players that didn't play this year is gonna come back next year. So you get some of them people back, man. Brooklyn's gonna be tough. If the Warriors catch fire, it could be a wrap early. Not dynasty. If they win this one, that would be 4 in 8 years, and I don't think they are done. Yeah, and I agree. I don't think they're done with titles. I agree with that, man. And here's why, like you said that, man. Here's why I don't think they're done with titles, man. If you look at some of the teams that won titles, you go with the Shaq and Kobe era. You know, once Shaq left, they had to reload. They didn't really have anybody, you know, really to bag them up. You know, he had to go get Paul Gasol and reload. You know, the Pistons, they didn't have any superstars. So once that dynasty broke up, well, not dynasty, once that championship team broke up, you know, they was in shambles. They didn't have anybody after the veterans. They didn't have anybody. After Mike left, Scotty left, there was nobody left on the Bulls. But if you look at the Warriors, they only got Clay, Steph, Draymond. All the rest of the team is young. They got players that's sitting on the bench that just coming in and out every now and then, just getting playing time. Wait till they start to jail. And then Steph don't have to play as much. And those players start to take over. That's why I think the Warriors are winning more titles, man. You know, I think Phoenix is in shambles. You don't know what you're gonna do with I can't think of his name. The short guy. CP3. You know, he just disappears in playoffs. Mitchell might leave Utah, and Utah disappear in playoffs anyway. They're regular season team. I think Rudy Gobert is garbage, you know. So I'm not worried about Utah. I think Denver is a good team. Championship team, I don't see it, but I think they're a great team. Don't get me wrong. They're a few pieces away. Yeah, Wiseman. I keep forgetting about Wiseman. And Kuminga. Yeah. So you got them too. Who else in the West? Who am I forgetting? The Lakers in shambles. You know, they only know they want to keep LeBron, trade LeBron. They trying to they doing a fire sale over there. They trying to get rid of all the people they can. So the Lakers in trouble. Who the heck want Westbrook in that contract? So Lakers in trouble. Portland, we don't know. They ain't say he's gonna stay, but shoot, he might change his mind after he's looking at what Portland not getting any players over there. So Portland, they're in trouble. So I think it's Golden State. I think the West is Golden State's to win or lose. However you look at it, I think it's Golden State's. I think the East will beat up on each other, and then Golden State just feast on whoever comes out the East. Now, don't get me wrong. I like some of I like Memphis. I think they're player away. And the way New Orleans played, you're gonna have to get rid of Fat Boy over there. You gotta get rid of him. And get you another piece over there. And I think, they gel pretty well. They'd be forced to reckon with, but I think they're on par with Denver, they're on par with Memphis. Luka has to get in shape. He really has to get in shape. Luka can't half the time he's still down at the other end, cherry picking. And that's a liability on defense, because if you're down on the other end and the guy you're gonna be guarding is wide open, that's easy 2 or 3, depending on what shot they shoot. So that's a liability. What you say, Matt? They got these guys, these young cats to get the practice to learn and play with two of the greatest shooters to ever lace up the kicks. Then Draymond to teach the defense, the tactics, and how to work on the glass. I agree with that. That's a great point, man. Golden State look good, man. So I'll pose a question, and those who may not be on the live with us, you can leave it in the comments. But Go if you Golden State and you look at these young players, and I like what Matt said. With the nucleus and everything they have there, is it your conference to win or lose? What is Golden State the team to beat in the West? Or I'm overlooking somebody. Am I overlooking somebody? Let me know. I think Golden State is the team to beat. So like I said, leave it in the comments if you think I'm wrong. But I think they're the team to beat in the West. And like I said, in the East, you got a lot of teams beating up on each other out there. And I'm not knocking none of the West teams. I think there's great teams out there, but I think top to bottom, I think Golden State got more pieces than a lot of these teams. Deeper bench, upcoming players. Wiseman didn't even play, because of injury. So you get Wiseman back next year, and the way the rest of them cooking, that's scary, man. I think that's scary. And then like I said, you don't know what Mitchell gonna do next year. I ain't worried about Phoenix because to me they have to prove it that they can do something in the playoffs so they can win all the games they want during the regular season. Who else? Forgetting somebody. Oh, the Lakers. You don't know what the Lakers gonna do. Lakers supposed to be the premier team, and they got they hired Ham over there. Oh, no problem, man. They got Ham over there, and Ham is not. Here's the problem with the Lakers. Here's some of the problem. I'm gonna say the problem. Here's some of the problem with the Lakers. You got Phil Jackson. You got fuck LeBron. Thank you, thank you, Matt. You got Phil Jackson. You got Kirk Rambis on over the shoulders of both shoulders of Ham, telling them who he should get, who he should not get, how to run a team. That right there is distracting as a coach. Even if you have all the players you need as a coach, that's distracting just with that alone. Dealing with different people in each ear. Rambis saying one thing, Phil Jackson saying another thing, and you got this going back and forth in your head. That's distract. Too many Chiefs, not enough Indians, as they say. Right, as the saying goes out in LA. I agree. So you got that. Now you couple that with Phil wants LeBron gone. He thinks LeBron should be traded. So you might think, hey, I think LeBron is our best chance. So what do you do? What do you do with that? Do you say, okay, I'm gonna try to keep LeBron? I don't know how much authority he actually has. He may not have authority to even keep LeBron. And if you trade away LeBron, yeah, you're gonna get something for him. But who is willing? If you look at all the teams out there, you're gonna want a king's ransom for LeBron. And most of the teams I just got through naming that's contending needs those pieces and LeBron. You take Denver, you ain't gonna give Ja. You know what I'm saying? You don't get none of the other young players away that Denver has. Not Denver. Yeah, I mean Memphis. I'm sorry. Memphis has for LeBron. For him to come in and mess up y'all chemistry. So Memphis is out. Same with Denver. I think Denver's out. You gonna go to Utah? Put him over there with go over there to Portland. Put him over there with Dame. Then you gotta give us so many pieces. You in the same predicament that you had. You in the Lakers situation, just in further north. So what are you gonna do? You look over at the East of those contenders. Brooklyn dang sure ain't gonna want them. Who you gonna give? Same with Philly. And unless you give a 1-on-1 trade for LeBron for Harden, but I don't know how the LeBron and Embiid thing is gonna work. I don't think that's gonna work. I think they're gonna butt heads. So Philly's not gonna work. Even though Milwaukee need another player, that ain't gonna work. Tradable players in LA, AD, Russ. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that too. I'm saying what what Phil want. I'm talking about first. I'm dealing with what Phil said about getting rid of LeBron. But then going to your point, you get rid of okay. You say you get rid of Russ. Let's start with Russ and AD. If I'm a team, I don't want to take on that contract. The only way you can get rid of Russ if you go somewhere like maybe Charlotte. You know, somewhere that's not a contender, but can use a good piece in there. And if you give a few players away, you're not really hurting as much. But all the ones that's contending, Russ is costing too much. You're gonna mess up our chemistry. AD, I don't know if he's gonna be healthy. Gabriel, I mean, it's like Lakers is in bad shape, bro. Lakers in bad shape. Horrible shape. LeBron handpicked his team thinking the player, coach, GM, and owner just retired and assumed their role of management. But you know what? I think, Matt, though, with LeBron, and I'm just spit, but I don't know. I might be wrong. I think LeBron thinking is, I'm practicing for that. I'm going to go ahead and try to do this GM, player, coach, and all that stuff. And then when I get ready to retire, I can say I had the experience, But he's doing a piss poor job. He's doing a Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, great player. Horrible owner. Horrible GM. He thought Kwame Brown was a talent. Agree with you on that. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. Every great player does not translate to great coach. Hey, man. Hey, don't. No. Detroit. I like the young players that Detroit have, and I would want to give away all them young players for Russ. Only thing Russ will do for Detroit is maybe sell tickets, sell a few jerseys. That's about it. But as far as like doing anything great for Detroit, nah. Manny maybe, but I mean, who you gonna give up in Minneapolis for him? I mean, I think the Timberwolves have great chemistry, and I think putting Russ over there or taking some players away will mess up what they have. I mean, I think the Timberwolves need a few pieces over there. Don't get me wrong. But I like what they have, and I think adding Russ and taking away some of those players will be bad for Minnesota. Say that again. Michael Jordan is a horrible owner. Agreeable, the greatest player to ever lace him up. Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, I can't look as a Piston fan. I love to hate Mike, especially when he played. But at the same time, I can't deny what my eyes see. The man was a great player. He was unbelievable, man. One of the greatest I ever seen play the game. I'm not a hater. I gotta give him his props, man. Mike was a great player. You got to get that to him. And anyone who says anything different because he beat your team, you're still a loser. You can't deny what you see. Michael Jordan, even though they called Neek the human highlight film, I think Mike was the human highlight film. I mean, I remember like turning on SportsCenter and you're like, oh, Mike again. Hoping the highlight won't against your team, but he gonna Mike again. He gonna Mike again, and you like you being all some of the stuff he did, man. You gotta give Mike his props. I don't care what nobody say. You gotta give Mike his props. Michael Jordan was a great basketball player. It just didn't translate to GM owner. Just don't. It doesn't always happen. Magic Johnson too. Yeah, 41 and 97, right. You're great at your craft on the court doesn't mean it's going to carry over to being right. I agree. Yeah, 41 points and 90. Yeah, that's ridiculous, man. I just think, man, here's my thing. And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna try to, because we're only gonna do an hour show today since it's a holiday. So I want to make sure I get all my points out. And I'm trying to engineer at the same time. But yeah, here's my thing with Mike, man. And I said I kind of briefly mentioned Magic when Magic was over there in the Lakers organization. Isaiah too. Isaiah didn't do well with the Knicks, but I'm gonna put an asterisk by Magic because I think part of Magic was the dysfunction that they had over in the Lakers organization too. Because when he was over there, they had a lot of dysfunction over there at that time too. I think I can't remember, that was the time when Jeannie was trying to get rid of her brothers too. So you had a lot of dysfunction over there in the Lakers after Dr. Buzz died. So that's hard for you as a person trying to help run an organization. You got all this dysfunction going on. You being a Pistons fan, me being a Knicks fan, we saw Mike Wright. I mean, that year they played the Knicks, man, the playoffs. That's one of the greatest playoff series I've seen, man. I love watching that series. That was a great series, man. I was rooting for the Knicks. I ain't lying. I was rooting for the Knicks, man. When John Starks dunked on them, man, I was like, oh, they're going to win this. They're going to win this. You know what I'm saying? I was rooting for the Knicks. Hell, sometimes I was rooting for Indiana, hoping that Reggie put them out. When the Pistons weren't able to beat up on Mike like they used to, and they changed the rules, it was that was the whole bad boy thing, man. That's be able to beat up on you come through that paint. That's part of their defensive prowess. So when they stopped doing that, they kind of lost their edge. Plus they was getting old. Lambeer was getting old. Isaiah, Rick Mahorn, and it was getting, them guys was old. Buddha, Vinny Johnson, them guys was getting up there in age, man. And I'm not taking nothing away from when the Bulls beat them. They beat them fair and square, so I'm not taking nothing away from them. But my point is, the advantage they had was able to beat up on you come to the paint. So I kind of negate some of your speed if you was faster than them. That kind of negate a lot of strategy you had against them, because if you get beat up for 4 quarters, for let's say 3 quarters, by that 4th quarter, you tired. You know what I'm saying? Somebody pushing you around, beating up on you for 3 quarters straight, by that 4th quarter, you tired. Now, I played basketball, but football was my sport. But you imagine you tired, and you shoot not only with your arms, you shoot with your legs. All that goes into your form when you're shooting. Your legs get tired, that throws off your shot. Your arms get tired, that throws off your shot. All that stuff, your fatigue affects your game. So that was the bad boys' advantage over you, able to switch people in and out all the time, banging you. Then Lambeer, being a big man, he could step behind the 3-point line and hit that. So now imagine you a big guy, and this is back when they had true centers. Imagine you're a big guy and you got to chase this big old guy out here shooting 3-pointers. You coming out that paint. So now your quote unquote top rebounders out there with Lambeer. That leaves Rodman able to get the rebound, Sally, because they big guys is in the paint. So you get a lot of offensive rebounds. Matt say, start with left baseline on Horace Grant, MJ. I know, man, that was a great dunk, man. That was one of the better dunks in the playoff series I've seen. That was a great dunk, man. You gotta give them their props. Most of them players in the league now would never have lasted in the 80s and 90s. I don't know, the rules changed, but dudes were getting clothesline, punched in the face, and it was a common foul plus a T, no ejection. Yeah, you're right. You're right, man. And man, you imagine taking that beating all throughout the game. I mean, you go back and watch some of them highlights, man, they was throwing Jordan around like a rag doll, bro. For real. I mean, they made Jordan go to the weight room. Facts. They made Jordan go to the weight room because he was coming through there. He was getting thrown around. And, they did the Barkley when Barkley was with Philly, because Lambeer and Barkley got into it a couple times. And they just didn't care, man. They didn't care. They came into your city. They tried to beat up on you. That was their game. Imagine Ja trying to yo on Bill on Rick Mahorn. Right. Right. I mean, Ja's a little guy, man. I think that may be one of Ja's downfall, man, because the same thing we talk about with Kyle Murray with the Cardinals. When you got that little frame and you taking that punishment, man, that wears on that little frame. Ja better do like Jordan and get in that weight room. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, you're not taking a beating like you did in the 80s and the 90s, but you're still getting pounded a little bit, because the way he plays, he's slashing, coming through the lane, he's gonna get hit. He's not gonna get hit like he did, like back in the day, but he's still gonna get hit. You doing that throughout the time, that little body, right? His body ain't built for street ball. You're right, man. It's not. So you have to you're not getting the weight room, man. If he was just shooting outside like Steph, now don't get me wrong, Steph does come through the lane, but it's different. It's different the way Steph does it, compared to the way Ja does it. Ja's attacking you straight up like you a big man, like he a big man. Steph kind of like trying to glide around you a little bit. So it's a different type of game. And I think that if you're going to play that kind of game, man, you're going to have to beef up a little bit. I mean, you can still have a small frame, but strong. Because I know some guys won't get big, but they get strong. It's a difference. His body type may not get him swole, but he'll be strong that he can take that punishment. And same with Kyler Murray. I think part of the Cardinals' problem is that, they start off hot, but after a while, Murray body can't take it. 7 games is all he can take. They go 7-0. That's it. Steph picks and chooses when he does right. He put his body on the line. You're right. I agree, man. And I mean, that's why I say he's a different type of player. Where Ja is gonna try to come through as much as he can. And I mean, I like Ja Morant. Don't get me wrong. I like him as a player. I enjoy watching him. So it's not me picking on Ja. I'm just making observations about his game. And I think that going back to my original statement about the Western Conference, the Warriors got big fellas too. They got some depth on their team, man. That's why I really like the way the Warriors is built. I like the way the Warriors is built, and I hope they win a couple more, man. I like Steph. I like his attitude. I like the way he plays. I mean, I like Draymond. A lot of people don't like him, but I like Draymond. I know what he's doing is just messing with your mind. You know what I'm saying? I like the psychological part of it. And if he can get in your head, you let him, that's on you. It's not on him, it's on you. Ja better work on his J before, yeah, you're right. He needs to work on that too. He does need to work on that. Because one thing about when you play for a while, it's hard to change your form, and I think he needs to be in that gym working on the outside shot, man. I mean, going back to Jordan, I remember Jordan outside shot wasn't that great, but he worked on it. And shoot, then he was deadly from outside. Then he was deadly from the 3-point line. Jordan worked on his game. And so if you're going to be a player at this level, you have to work on all your deficiencies. That's why I like Giannis so much, man. Everything that people talked about Giannis, he worked on it. First they said he was too skinny. He bulked up. They talk about he didn't have an outside shot. Oh, okay, man. They say he didn't have an outside shot. He worked on it. Every little thing they critiqued him about, he worked on it. And you have to do that as a professional in this game, man. You got to work on it until you develop. You got to work on it until you develop it. I mean, I think that was the downfall of Shaq. If Shaq wasn't so lazy, Shaq would have been more dominant than he was at the time at his peak of his career. You can't just come back and say, I'm going to get in shape at the beginning of the season instead of just staying in shape the whole time and working on your game, working on your free throw. Imagine if he worked on his free throw and he just shot 70%. The hacker Shaq wouldn't work. They wouldn't be hacking Shaq. They wouldn't do the hacking Shaq. He just shot 70%. They wouldn't even did Hack and Shaq. You know, imagine Shaq had a nice turnaround or like Kareem with the sky hook, some kind of signature move. To stay on top, you have to continue to work at it. That's correct. I agree with that. You're right, Matt. And that's the reason why I think I like some of the older players versus the younger players. You know, I think the old cats, man, they stayed in the gym. They stayed in the gym besides Shaq. You know, I mean, and I just think it's a different league, man. You know, and I'm not one of those ones that's a hater because the league has changed. You know, it's like, oh man, league changed. I like the old league. You know, I enjoyed the old league, but I enjoyed the new one too. I embrace the new stuff, but at the same time, it's good to pull. I'm a believer in this. You can always learn from the past. You don't have to go back to the past. You don't have to try to relive the past, but you look towards the past and take some of those nuggets from the past to bring it, to improve yourself in the present, to take yourself to the future. I just think that's how you should go through life about everything like that. Some people look at the past and try to relive it. Can't do that. The past is what it is. Past is the past, but there's always some gold nuggets in that part you can pull out to your present time and use that. So then it'll catapult you into your future. I think that is how you should look at it. Since we're speaking on a sports standpoint, these players today, look what worked in the past. Some of those things you can pull from that. Oh man, I like that, boom, and add it to your game and make you a better player in the present and in the future to come. I think that's the greatest thing to do, man. A lot of people like to crap on the old players, and then some of the old players like to crap on the new player because it's not the same game. That don't mean nothing, man. Don't do that. You see that about hip hop too. You see I can't stand this new hip hop, blah blah blah. I always say this. Some of it I can't get with. Some of it it's not for me, but they're not making it for me anyway. But at the same time, I don't crap on it. You know what I'm saying? And it's some artists I do like that are new, even though I still lean more towards the older hip hop. But I don't crap on a new artist. I just say, something they made for me and keep it moving. So we're getting close to the end. I wanted to kind of preview a little bit of the Canes and Rangers game a little bit. I think they play tonight. And it's game 7 for the Rangers and Carolina Hurricanes. If you look at how Carolina been playing, it looks like Carolina should win this game because they've been winning all their home games and losing all their away games. I think Carolina is the better team. They all 4 of their lines are great. All 4 of their lines they play are great. I think they if you look at the games that Carolina play, new rap, I find it hard. I'm an old school. Yeah, some of it's hard to like, Matt. And part of it because we're from that time frame, you know what I'm saying? And so I think it's like when you hear the new stuff, it just you think of hip hop, you think of the stuff that you used to hear, and you hear the new stuff and don't sound nothing like it. It's like it's hard for you to kind of get with it. And so I try to do is just listen for the music as it is, and don't try not to compare it to the old stuff. Just like, okay, let me hear the music because I like music, all kinds of music. I don't just listen to hip hop. I listen to all kinds of music. I still sometimes listen to the classics. Like I like Zeppelin. I like 80s music. The Cyndi Lauper, Duran. You might hear me listen to some jazz. No matter, you hear me listen to all kinds of stuff. Pink Floyd, all kinds of stuff. But anyway, get back to what I was saying about can it get me going down music? That's my thing. I love music. But 6 games. 6 games all won by a home team. I tried to listen and pay attention to what they said, and it was the same type of shit. But here's the thing with the Hurricanes, man. If you look at a series, especially with the Rangers, they really outplayed the Rangers. Even when they lost the game, you know, they kept the puck more down on the side of the Rangers side. The defense was great. They took a lot of shots, but the Ranger goalie was stopping a lot of them. And you would think, okay, all those shots, one's gonna go in, one's gonna go in. And they played great defense. I just think that this is one of the things the Canes, if they win this series, gonna have to do and fix, because they're not gonna be able to do that against Tampa Bay. Because Tampa Bay will come into Raleigh and steal one. And then the Canes is hit. Their Stanley Cup chances is gone. So I think they're gonna have to try to find a way to fix losing away if they win this game tonight. I mean, I think, like I said, I think the Canes is a better team. All four of their lines are great. I think all four of their lines are better than the Rangers. I think the Rangers' strength is their goalie. I like rap, rock, alternative, classic, club, oldies, doo-wop, era, and R&B. Yep, you like me, Matt. I'm pretty much in most of all those. You know, you never know what I might play or I'll be listening to. I'll pull up with all kinds of stuff, man. You know, I like Fleetwood Mac, old R&B. You know, I mean, Sade. You know, I might listen to Tina Turner. She got me going down this rabbit hole, man. I'm trying to close off the hockey. And then if you look on the other side, all over the spectrum, right? That's how I am, man. All over the spectrum. If you look at the other side with the Oilers and the Avalanche, man, that's gonna be a great series, man. You know, you got Connor McDavid for the Oilers and Vander Kane, Draisaitl. I think they got, you know, those three are great. They match up well with McKinnon and what's his name, Landeskog. I might be saying his name wrong. For the Avs. The Avs, man, you know, they can score, you know, in rushes. They can score in cycles. I think it's gonna be a great game. I think that if Evander Kane keep playing like he's been playing, then McDavid gonna be McDavid, and the Oilers have a chance. But I still give an advantage to the Avalanche. I think the Avalanche will win this series, and I think it might be the Stanley Cup be Avalanche and Tampa Bay. Because if the Canes let the Rangers win, I think Tampa Bay will beat the Rangers. I just think they'll beat the Rangers, man. Now I think the Canes have a chance to beat Tampa Bay, but I just think that they need to fix. If they win the series tonight, they need to fix that losing away. You got to fix that, man. You can't just keep losing all your games, you know, away from home, because you come up against a great team, they're gonna come in your building and steal one. All they need is one, especially if you're losing away. That means all the rest of the games, they only need 3 at home. That's it, and the series over with. A little SWV. Oh, I love Pearl Jam. Yeah. Frank Santana, Wu-Tang, Metallica. Yeah, I like all of them. Billy Joe Zeppelin. Yeah, man. Hey, man, we might got some of the same music, man. I was just listening to Pearl Jam the other day. Nirvana. But yeah, man. I just think that that's gonna be the downfall of the game. They win the series. I really think that's gonna be the downfall. But we come up on that hour mark. You know, I said I was gonna keep y'all an hour. I appreciate Matt. I don't know who the Facebook user was, but I appreciate them tuning in. Nick that dropped a comment here and there. It's been fun. You know, I enjoyed it. It was a little different for me because I'm used to like behind the scenes doing stuff and all that kind of thing. But you know, it's been fun. I can sit here and talk about sports all day and music. You know, Matt got me going on music. Go Devils. It won't be this year though, Matt. It won't be this year. Yeah, but thanks everybody that tuned in, man. We really loved it. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, IOW Network. One of the things I'm working on, Sincere was. Oh, that was Sincere. Oh wow. Okay, thanks. I ain't heard from Sincere in a long time. One of the things I'm working on now is getting a channel under the IOW network and putting everything under one channel. I mean, you still have its own separate channel, but you can go to the IOW network and view everything under one umbrella. So I'm working on that. And those who listening, like I said earlier, if you didn't hear me, if you have any kind of sport podcast you want to get off the ground or have started but want to collaborate with us, man, come on, man. We're trying to build a media conglomerate. We trying to be a digital ESPN without all the BS takes, Dr. Stephen A. Smith and all that. You know, you can go ahead and go freely give your opinion. And I'm still working on. I appreciate it, Matt. I'm still working on getting an app, um, where we ain't got to worry about Facebook, shutting us down because you say something that Facebook don't like. So hopefully, I'm in the talks with somebody now. So hopefully we can get that done. We have our own app where you just go on the app, drop your comment, still ask you to be respectful, but you say what you want to say pretty much. We ain't not gonna worry about nobody um shutting down your account and all that kind of stuff. So we got some things that we working on, and don't forget to listen to Late Night Owl with Lamar. He should be on tonight at 11. Nick come on sporadically, so I don't know what time Nick comes on, but if you go to his channel, Proud Jet Fan, subscribe, you can get any notification when he decided to drop a show. And also Moneyline with Nick Shine. I probably pick up more during the football season. He started, giving you some money lines and all that kind of stuff. And anything that you want to know or you want to talk about, man, we love to have you on. Just drop us a line. We'll bring you on the show, or just we're gonna try to pick up the phone calls once I get another phone so we can have phone calls, all that kind of stuff. But anyway, on behalf of Wildcard Mar, big homie Nick Shine, we appreciate everybody coming out and appreciate you, Matt, man, for being a faithful listener. Peace.